I'll be honest, the views for Paranormal Activity review last year didn't really tell me you guys were interested in me doing it. But the thing is, this is my YouTube channel, okay? And it's horror sequel week still, okay? And I wanted to talk about the sequel because I am a fan of this franchise. Released in 2010, we are talking Paranormal Activity 2. Okay, so what's weird about this movie is I swore it came out in 2009, but IMDb says 2010, so we're going with that. I remember when this movie came out because if you watch my review for last year, when that original one came out, people were going crazy. It was today's Blair Witch Project, basically, but we had more knowledge that it was fake. And then Paranormal Activity 2 came out and basically answered all the questions of like, okay guys, this is fake. 1,000,000% fake. But as a kid, I didn't know that. And as a kid, I watched a ton of movies to where I knew, like, oh, a new one's coming out. It's probably like another case, another ghost story, another house with a ghost in it. It's probably a different family. Any other major Hollywood franchise would do that. For a horror franchise, you'd get another story for a sequel. You cash grab, all that kind of stuff. I appreciate the hell out of this movie for continuing on the Paranormal Activity storyline, because in all reality, this is a prequel up until the end of the movie, and watching it tonight, I had fun with this movie. I honestly might like this one more than the first one. Now, I haven't seen this movie in probably over 7 or 8 years. It's been a hot minute. But the thing is, when I watched that first one last year, I was just appreciating how much of just like, how much of a small budget they turned into a major profit, and how creative it was, and like that one shot of the bedroom, whatever, was so creepy. To me, this sequel does what most sequels should do. Number one, expand it. In this movie, we have multiple cameras. We have a security camera type footage outlet, and they have a good reason why. Everyone's always like, why do they keep filming? For this movie, in the very beginning, someone robs the house, but they only take one thing, and that gives them the reason, like, all right, we need cameras all in our house, whatever. And in that, we now have different perspectives of the baby's room, the living room, the backyard. It's a really cool idea for the Paranormal Activity franchise. And for this movie, you expand on that idea of the first one. The characters. I personally feel like the characters in this movie are more likable. I will say this. This is a very tipsy-topsy review, but like my negative, I hate how the dad instantly is like, oh, wife, you're silly. There ain't nothing happening. And obviously this wife, who is the sister of Katie from the first movie, she's all like, there's a demon in our house. We have a past, my sister and I. This movie builds out its lore. This is what sequels should do. Make likable characters. Broaden your sequel. Make it bigger, but have that containment of the first one, because you still get your spooky elements. And I will say this, it is another one of those cases where, like, you get little creepy moments and little, like, doors opening and multiple nights of not stuff happening, and people might be like, oh, yeah, this movie's really boring, until the end, you get your one last big scare. Even though I think the best scare in the movie is the kitchen scene where all the cabinets swing open. To me, that's like a good-ass scare. And it's a daylight scare, which is super rare if you think about it. But anyways, this sequel just does what everything you should do, and the fun part is it expands on this universe to where the third one, which, spoiler alert, the third movie is a prequel to the sisters as when they're kids, and there's questions that are built in this movie that get answered in the third one. Because when they made this movie, they're like, all right, we made the first one, we made a ton of money, we have something here. So let's go ahead and start making a little stuff to set up for the next movie and the next one. And I know, this might sound like a hypocrite moment. I hate when movies basically say like, all right, come back next year or next time for the next movie. The thing is with this movie, it's having fun with its ideas because you, as an audience member, watch this movie like, ooh, scary, spooky movie back in 2010. Nah, Paranormal Activity was like, no, we are continuing the storyline of Katie and her sister and this entire, like, family, like, bloodline of, like, how this brand new born baby is the first male born one since the 1930s. And that key point is a very big point for a future movie and the franchise itself. And I love that they did that. And you gotta give major credits to one of the writers, which it does have multiple writers, but I'm gonna give them credit. I don't know, I wasn't in the writer's room, but I'm giving credit to Christopher Landon. Christopher Landon obviously did the Happy Death Day movies. He did Drop this year, and he is someone that I feel like really got into this writer's room and created something that was just a little different, a little fun in the universe. And for most people, you're thinking, is it a movie scary, whatever? I honestly would say it's on par for the first one. It has its creepy moments. I think the ending is the most exciting part of the movie. I think the part where they go inside the basement, because the whole movie they're building of like what the fuck is happening in the basement, like the scene with the little kid crawls out of the freaking crib, goes down the stairs into this basement, and then just goes back upstairs, and it's never really explained of like what happened to the baby. What did the baby do down there? And so like when the ending happens with the basement, I feel like it does fulfill like how creepy the basement is. Like I said, I don't love the whole plot point of the male character, the dad, being like, oh, to the woman, no, you're being silly, da-da-da-da-da. And then, like, you got Micah, whatever, showing up from the first one. I love how they said in his character, like, oh, you got a camera? You know, I should get a camera. That's fun writing, in my opinion. That gives it that character motivation to buy the camera in the first movie. And that's what's also fun about this movie, it being a prequel, and then obviously it ends with the first one, with obviously Katie showing up and then killing the mom and dad, and then taking the baby hunter, setting up for a future movie, which is the fourth one, which at this point, I don't know if I will review, but I would love to review it for many reasons. One main one, but we'll get to it one day, hopefully. But anyways, I found Paranormal Activity 2 to do what everything a sequel should do. It expands on the universe, expands on the filmmaking techniques. It's more entertaining to me than the first one. You have better characters. The storyline is more interesting while also building out more of what the lore can become. And by the end of it, I'm having fun. I'm going to give Paranormal Activity 2 a B+. I said this last year, but I'll say it again. If this video flops, then you know what? Maybe I shouldn't review the third one next year. But come on, Paranormal Activity fans. Where are you? Leave a comment down below. Let me know you're out there, damn it. Found footage is the most underrated subgenre in the horror genre, in my opinion. So yeah, Paranormal Activity 2, thumbs up. And I haven't seen Paranormal Activity 3 in a while, and I low-key want to watch it tonight. Like, low-key. Anyway, guys, enjoyed this movie review. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.